Monsieur le gouverneur, très très grand merci. Vous avez su mettre si bien en évidence toutes les contradictions, en particulier de votre pays. Le prochain orateur vient également des États-Unis. Son nom nous est familier, c'est le congressman Patrick Kennedy.
Madam Ázadi, earlier this afternoon, we were reminded of the immortal words of your brother-in-law, Kazim Rajavi, who was quoted in saying, "We are writing the history of human rights with our blood." Madam Rajavi, your family is one of the families that you speak up on behalf of every time you speak out on behalf of the families of the martyred. That quote, tragically, could be applied to your family. You had a sister killed by the Shah fighting for freedom. Another sister killed by the mullahs. How much does a family have to pay in sacrificing themselves for a cause as important as human rights? Your family has paid an enormous sacrifice. I know we're all honored here today to have you leading the charge on behalf of all people who know the cost of not standing on the side of freedom, because your family has paid the ultimate sacrifice, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I love at these rallies the way you hold up pictures, because you remind us what it's all about. It's about real people with real brothers and sisters like many of you and I have, with real mothers and fathers and loved ones. This is an issue that's very simple. I know we have a distinguished panel here to talk about the legal issues. The 4th Geneva Convention, the UN Human Rights, the High Commissioner on Refugees. We hear over and over justifications for the policy that, when you look at it, speaks for itself, because it speaks to all of our hearts as simply a matter of human rights. Because there is nothing that is needed to justify the side of justice in this case. As it is often said, you know it when you see it. And we have seen the issue before us. How could we stand here in the seat of the United Nations in Europe and have to wonder whether we're going to make the case to the High Commissioner on Refugees and Human Rights that they need to act? Of course they need to act. I talked about your family, Madam Rajavi, and I mentioned the martyrs' families because it's an issue of life and death. There's nothing political about this. It's whether we of good conscience are going to sit by and allow people to perpetrate a crime against all of us. Because this crime is not simply a crime, tragic as it is, against the people of Camp Ashraf. It's a crime against every human being, wherever they live, that living right